Again, I want to thank you for tuning in with us here on Emory Henry Reports. Again, my name's Daron Vaught, and I'm here with your feature interview. And Jimmy Whited from the Student Life Office joins me. Jimmy, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me.
And Jimmy, obviously one of the main reasons we asked you to come on today was your recent award. And I really don't want to butcher the acronym. Is it the VAHUCO?
No.
Or do they even say it as an acronym?
It's actually VASPA. I'm a member of VACUHO and a member of VASPA, but VASPA is the Virginia Association of Student Personnel Administrators, and I'm actually the president of VACUHO, which is it's a sister institution, but it's separate. VACUHO is specifically for housing officers, and VASPA is for all folks involved with student affairs.
Okay, so the service award that you recently won, that was through
VASPA.
VASPA, not VACUHO.
Right.
Could you explain sort of the differences and what you do with each?
Sure. VACUHO focuses mainly on life in student housing, and we have folks who put people in beds. We have folks who work on the residence life side of the coin, I guess. And then VASPA is more folks who could be from vice presidents to deans to folks who work with Greek students, folks who work in student health, folks who work in all that. So VASPA is the one that's kind of the all-encompassing organization, and VACUHO is specifically for housing.
And you said you're the state president
for VACUHO.
For VACUHO,
right?
What are some of your responsibilities, I guess, with that?
Okay, we do a lot of different things. I think one of the most prominent things that we do is help define what best practices are as far as for housing and different things. We explore different topics. We visit different campuses to see how we can better relate to those folks. See what they're doing on their campuses, remodeling, all those kind of things.
So we talked about it a little bit before we came on. In being in the Student Life Office, you work a little bit with RAs, but
Sure.
You said that's only...
That's a small portion of what I do. Our office, RAs report to our office, but we have area coordinators. We have Todd, who's the Assistant Dean of Students, and we all have a variety of things we do. Working with RAs is one part of it. We're also putting people in beds. We're building a new residence hall. We're coordinating all of that kind of stuff. Todd's kind of a project shepherd now, and working over parking and a variety of things. It's kind of whatever pops up, student life takes care of it. So that's kind of what we're doing.
So Jimmy, you mentioned the new residence hall.
Yeah.
Obviously that a pretty hot issue. A lot of people want to know about it. What's the status with Hickory Hall thus far?
Hickory Hall is supposed to be online and ready to go in the fall. We got Elm up and going in less time, so we're anticipating being able to get it done. It should be awesome. At least 117 students, at least the same number as in Elm. We've taken some of the experiences we've had of Elm and trying to make it better. We know that people love the media room up in the third floor of Elm, so we're looking at adding some more conference style spaces, maybe on the first floor in the lobby area, so they're open to more of the campus community, that kind of thing. Just trying to make it better, more livable, more fun, just as kind of a place to be on campus, so, and a home,
Yeah. So you mentioned parking as well, and I know a lot of students really sort of questioning what's going to happen with parking. Right. They're afraid there's not going to be a lot with Hickory coming up.
And I'd say that's a valid concern. One of the things that through our office and Dean Pam takes a lot of ownership in parking. She loves talking about parking and exploring options, and I think they've come up with a really good plan to put where we took down the small houses behind the football field. I believe we're going to have a pretty large parking lot back there that will actually gain us some spaces just right behind the football stadium. So should be really good, and it should get started pretty quickly. So. Well,
good. That's great to know. Obviously, I know a lot of students have talked to me with concern.
Absolutely.
But Jimmy, let's get back to you more specifically.
Okay.
You work in housing.
I do.
Obviously, at a college. What, I guess, in your life sort of influenced you to decide that, hey, I want to come back to a college and work at a place like this?
All right. It's pretty interesting, actually. I started out wanting to be a high school teacher, and I got to college and was like, hey, there's an RA. They've got a cool job. So I started being an RA. I got hired for that, then a hall director, and then I worked with the Residence Hall Judiciary Board, which is kind of like an honor council thing. And I was like, I like this. And was working on my master's degree at the time, and one of the things I had to do was fill out some online job applications way back when online was new. Okay, sorry, dating myself, but that's part of it. I applied to some jobs online, got quite a few interviews, some job offers, and I took one to work in residence life, and I love it. It's not a regret. It's just you kind of fall into it. Most students don't start out, being a little kid going, I want to be a director of housing. No little kid wants to be a director of housing, right. But it's something where you find your way, and it's a great way to work with students and get to know students in a great way. A little probably more about students being in student affairs than you would maybe in a classroom, because I'm teaching a class now too, so I kind of have a dual. I can see on both sides, and you get that kind of well-rounded view of the students, and it's amazing. It's amazing how they both can work really seamlessly together, being working with professors and being outside of the classroom as well. So it's really kind of an interesting type thing. So long story short, I fell into it, but I love it and wouldn't change a thing about it. So.
Well, you mentioned you're teaching a class now. What kind of course are you teaching? I
got the opportunity to teach a transitions course, and I love it. It's one of the first year courses that students take. It's great. We're having a good time. I'm enjoying it. I think the students are. It's a lot of fun. So the title of it's race, class, gender, and sexuality in the movies. So. Oh. Yeah.
So you get to watch movies.
So you get to watch movies.
That's not so bad.
Ask them if they get to watch movies all the time. So they might tell you a different story.
Right. So I'm assuming with that you become an academic advisor to some of the students as well?
I have. That's actually a lot of fun. That's one of the things I like the most. When I say you get to actually work with students, being a professor, that's actually one of the things that I enjoy the most, because you get to spend a lot of time helping them figure out what they need to do, where they need to go, who they need to speak to in order to help their academic career. Because even on the student affairs side, a lot of perceptions are we play games and we do the fun stuff, but it's really also helping them focus on, you're here for a reason. You're here to get an education. So what are we doing to help that? So it's kind of like I can see it from both sides now. Like I said, in teaching the class and being an advisor, that we're all in the same job. We're all doing the same things, just in different ways.
So Jimmy, you're giving Emory and Henry students a place to sleep at night.
Yeah.
You're giving them a room, yet you're teaching them. Getting a view from both perspectives. What do you think separates Emory and Henry students from other schools?
I think a lot of the students here are students who want to be in college, and they are ones who are trying, their very best to make the best of what they've got. And I feel like that the students here are those students who are really going places and are changing things, and that they look at a variety of different options and decide where's the one place in the world that they can make a difference. And I feel like that our students are doing that. And that's the thing that brought me here in the first place, and one of the reasons I love this college is because of that, because the students are doing things. They're not just sitting around, playing their Xboxes and what have you. They may be doing that, but they're also going places and doing things too. So
Right. So well, we're certainly glad that you're here at Emory and Henry College, and we want to wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
For today's Out and About, Mary Bolt talks about the success of Emory and Henry College graduates. Here's your Out and About.